My name is Valentina V, and I'm the director of photography and a camera operator for Amy's Dead End Dreamhouse, a kids show for adults. I'm in charge of making the show look the best it could possibly look. So everything from which cameras and lenses we're using to how we're using the lighting diagrams, setups, shot lists, I'm in charge of all that. Amy's Dead End Dreamhouse is like if Pee-wee's Playhouse and Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street all combined for a show that's basically geared towards millennials and young adults. This has long been the brainchild of Maggie Mayfish, something that blends zaniness and comedy with sincerity and puppets. Lots of puppets. We had a puppet snake, a microwave that was puppeted to open and close its mouth, and a TV that was entirely puppeted in post-production. The episodes focus on real issues that we have to go through all the time, like breaking up with an old friend that you fell out of touch with, or trying to get the right insurance at the doctor. For this project, we built a set that was 3 walls, and it included a door, a couple of windows, a fire escape, and mainly a big couch in the middle. Characters would sometimes go through the door, come in through the fire escape, but most of the action happened right there around the couch. We also shot vignettes on a white site, like the doctor's office or a duck hunting field. We tried our best to utilize the space we had and get as many possible setups within this living room set. We had specific lighting looks for daytime, morning, evening time, moonlight, and even a disco wonderland. And then there was that one where it was all green and Amy got possessed. We shot exclusively on RED cameras. We had 2 RED VRAPTOR X's as our A and B cams. When we shot interviews, we introduced a 3rd camera, the Komodo X. For lenses, we chose the DZO Catta Ace zooms for their flexibility, sharpness, and affordability. I knew that our show, for the most part, had to look like kids' shows of the past, which is why we tried to imitate that by having zoom lenses instead of primes. It also allowed our operators to be able to get different sizes of shots without having to constantly be swapping lenses. Our A and B cameras were on tripods with wheels so that we could easily reposition them for all the different angles we needed to capture. One was normally a wider shot, so either Amy and Quack, or Amy and the TV, or Amy and a guest, and one camera was usually Amy's single. We kept the cameras mostly static, or having very slow follows, slow pans to imitate the way that these cameras would have captured these types of shows in the past. The only time we really broke those rules were musical performances, where we had a combination of sticks and handheld, and also for this one dream sequence where it feels like reality and Amy wakes up and none of her friends are alive. Her appliances have stopped talking to her. We had backside lighting for that one instead of frontside lighting. We put on a Petzval lens so that we could get a completely different, super shallow depth of field look. And I also went completely handheld with that one, just to make it extra different from what the show normally looks like. This being an incredibly colorful show, everything from the costumes to the backdrops needed to pop. RED's color science is second to none in making those rich tones even richer, especially when we had our director, Will Reese, watching at the monitors. We needed to make sure that the straight out of camera footage looked good enough for our confidence. RED RAW also came in handy because it's actually really quick to ingest and scrub through. So on the day when we needed references for, oh, did we capture the microwave puppet in the morning time yet? I'm not sure. So our editor and DIT, who were both on site, were able to quickly scrub through all the clips, pull up those references for us. The lens adapter with variable ND was incredibly useful to us because we shot out of order, so we had to keep coming back to the same scenes that we had shot days ago or even weeks ago. So it was very, very handy to be able to just change the variable ND quickly instead of having to constantly be swapping the ND that's in front of the glass. Having a global shutter is also helpful for those handheld sequences, especially when you have to do whip pans back and forth. You don't have any jiggle, you don't have any rolling shutter. The sensor readout is second to none and produces great looking images. This type of show can't happen without an incredible team, and we truly put together such a great crew for this project. Everyone believed in what we were making, and they all offered suggestions on how to make it better. Like, oh, if I start here and then move the camera over here, it sort of maybe foreshadows something. Or, oh, if we do a little pan, it increases the comedy. Or how about if we break the fourth wall and do a super wide shot showing beyond the boundaries of the set? Wouldn't that be hilarious? We knew right away what this was and how to use the cinematography to increase the comedy. I'm really proud of the work we accomplished here, and we couldn't have done it without RED. So thank you, RED. You can watch Amy's Dead End Dreamhouse, a kids show for adults, on Nebula.